On my birthday, my father gave me a mechanical bracelet, looking at my bleeding arm, but he was very calm. He said the bracelet couldn't be removed once worn, but it would be of great help to me in the future. Then my father turned away and disappeared. As an adult, I worked as a lowly repairman. I worked hard every day to buy an oxygen mask for my sick wife, for Earth was now on the brink of collapse. All the plants had almost disappeared. Oxygen became a scarce resource. All the surviving human beings lived on a kind of oxygen mask. But until this day, the owner of the oxygen company suddenly approached me. She told me that I might be able to save mankind. With doubts, I followed the owner to the laboratory. There is a machine that can connect to the future, because just yesterday they received a message from 400 years from now, and the only thing it said was my name. They thought that 400 years later, mankind must have found a solution to the oxygen crisis. But the time machine can only send one person to the future. So the boss sent me on this mission in order to keep my sick wife alive. So I put on a protective suit and was transported 400 years into the future. When I opened my eyes, I was shocked by what I saw. There was plenty of oxygen, but not a soul in sight. I followed the satellite cell phone to an experimental base until I saw the remains of a human body at the entrance, and the name on the collar was my own. The remains also had a bracelet on their hand. Only the red light on it had turned green. I found the remains satellite cell phone and asked it to play back the last video logged. It started with two people arguing and ended with a gunshot. Have I already been here once and been shot? But I hadn't seen a soul in all the time I'd been here. Soon night fell and I lit a fire in the woods. Then I picked some unknown fruits to feed myself, but soon I was vomiting and sick. Just then, a bright light passed through the sky. Immediately, a figure approached me and drove a needle deep into my chest. When I woke up again, I found my best friend in front of me. It turned out that the fruit I just ate was highly poisonous. The headquarters detected that my vital signs had plummeted, so they sent my best friend to the future to save me. After adjusting our condition, we set off to look for clues. Soon, we arrived at the gate of a base. I cautiously stood at the door. Then a robotic arm protruded from the gap. After scanning and recognizing my eyeballs, the gate opened smoothly. Inside, it was pitch black. A computer flashed a message for me to activate. I carefully pressed the enter key. Suddenly, the bracelet tightened and the red light turned green as blood flowed out. As access was granted, the time machine in front of me lit up. This place is exactly the same as the lab 400 years ago. In order to find out what happened, I opened the video log again. It turns out that my father wanted to use the time machine to find a way to save all humans. But the boss only wanted to take some people to the future to continue human civilization. The two sides didn't agree and the boss shot my father. But in fact, my father had already set a limit on the time machine. Only my DNA can open it. The boss sent someone to get close to me to make sure I grow up and open the portal. She was worried that I would jeopardize the plan and get rid of me. The truth came out and the scene from history repeated itself. My best friend pinned me against the wall and aimed a gun in my head. But at the last moment, my best friend didn't do it. He knew I was the key to saving the past, so he shot himself without hesitation. Meanwhile, in front of the experimental base 400 years ago,